The US was really challenging and emotional, and I was questioning the validity of my business. But coming back was like, no, I'm onto something. I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path.
I can't believe that it's almost over. I can't believe, how fast time has passed. I'm now in this amazing journey of discovering myself as an entrepreneur. And it's super hard, it's tough, but I enjoy it.
We saw the potential of what the future really is, and we saw a market that is massive. So for all of us, I think that was a wonderful thing to see. There were big hugs when I got home, and yeah, it was lovely.
I hope that Grace sees me as fearless because, I'm really scared today to go up there. I was scared in the US. I've been frightened this whole journey, but I've done it anyway. And I've done it so that both of us can thrive. And that, I've done it so that other kids can be empowered the way she has.
It's a fact. The world is better. The world is stronger. And we have a much healthier, I think, brighter future when we have more female leaders.
I feel like more than I ever have in my life, like I've found my thing. So every day I wake up and I feel like I know what I'm out of the world to do, and I'm doing it. Moving back into my home after living in the van for so long was just like a holiday in itself. It's just been so grounding. I've got a lot of new exciting partnerships and pilots in the pipeline. I can't make social impact if I don't make a business that's financially viable. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to make a financially viable business if there's not a social impact. I've got people at this end telling me to talk more about the numbers and to develop the business ideas better, and I need to work on that. I know that that's something that I've struggled with, and I know that that's something I'm 100% committed to doing, but I can't lose sight of why I'm actually doing it in the first place. It's 37 women already this year who've died, and at the hands of men, violent deaths. It's the leading cause of preventable death for women aged 14 to 44 in Australia. I see that this is actually a huge moment in history for us. We have technology that is just advancing quicker than we can even understand, but we also have a cultural movement of women who are not willing to be silent anymore. And someone needs to be the person to bring those two together. So that's what I'm trying to do.
We're all here to achieve something. So for me, thinking about it from that perspective, it just makes sense to do something that has an impact on us as human beings. That is what drove me to human-centered design in the first place. I have tried to live in the moment. It's about finding your own voice, finding your own pace, discovering who you are as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a front runner, as a thought leader, and not being afraid just to put that out there. It feels fantastic just being able to take this next step, building this with an actual customer who's gonna use it with his actual customers. I do believe that the dream that I'm building or building towards is gonna be a reality and will have a massive impact on people.
The other thing that has been really exciting post-US is that we've got a couple of US companies that are now interested in pilots. And ANZ has moved to phase 2, and that's going to be a paid pilot, which is great. I hear my daughter say to her friends, "Oh, Mum's changing the world." And I want to show them that you can do anything. Like, one person does have the power to actually do something. And that's important for my daughter in particular to see, because whilst we'd like to think that the environment has changed and we're more balanced gender-wise, we're still a way away from where we need to be. So I want my daughter to see that a woman can do this. Even a woman that's a mother and have got kids on her own, she still can do this. I think the thing about this journey and Pioneer in particular is that it's so unknown. The reality is anything could happen.
3 days into boot camp, I was working the way that I always worked before, which was like a maniac. So I was sitting there at the dining table, driving away, and Indy, my daughter, came up and stood right next to me and said, "Mum, if you get into the incubator, are you going to work like this again?" And I just looked at her and went, oh my God. I shut my laptop because she did for me exactly what I want Pioneer to do for everyone else. She gave me that moment to take a breath and realise what I was doing and just to reset. So one of our key product lines is named after my gorgeous, amazing daughter who had the courage to come up and say that to me at the moment that I needed it.
Talkie Play is something that I want to make globally accessible, but it's something that I developed that was extremely personal. I had a really bad accident and I had a traumatic brain injury. One of the things I had to relearn how to do was talk. As a twist of fate, having a daughter who then didn't develop speech hit me really hard because I knew how frustrated she would felt and how locked out of the world she was. I had to do something about it and I had to do it right then. She learned how to talk and feel empowered to do it herself. It's a long life. We have to start from within.
It's pretty phenomenal, right? And I believe Grace is here today, and if you meet her, she's a talker. She's my kind of girl.
6 months ago, I would have never thought I'd be on stage being recognised as a tech entrepreneur by Google. Like, seriously, it is actually a dream to have that type of recognition, to know that I have that backing, and to see myself as not just somebody who had an idea, but I run a tech startup. I'm going to keep continuing to deliver my story so others can find their voice.
SheStarts represents a mission that women across the world want to go on. We just have the privilege of being part of it and creating that platform for women to say yes, to go out there, to create these amazing game-changing companies, but also just to step into their own as the leaders that they were always meant to be.
Ready? 1, 2.
I've always had this sense that creating a more equal future was so important for all of us. Finding out that I was going to have a daughter who was going to become a woman in this world gives you even more motivation to change that world, to make it possible. It's not enough to just change the world for my daughter, it has to be changed for daughters everywhere. It is so vital that we look at women around the world, generations of women around the world, and think differently about how we create the kind of growth and change and shifts in society that every country is trying to create in a way that places women in power at the centre of that and doesn't leave anyone behind.